After freshman year, grades was bad, didn't get no money to go back. Had to go to Benjamin Franklin Institute of Technology, majored in computer technology, got my associates, and also played ball there my second year. First year, I had to get my grades up, so it was kind of tough because that was my first real year, or second year, other than my mother taking ball away from me 8th grade for grades. That was my first year where I was like, yeah, I'm going to take this seat. I'm going to take this step back from ball, focus on school. And I learned a lot about myself. I had to find out like what I really like to do, started paying attention to the stuff I was getting taught because I'm like, damn, one day I'm not going to be hooping no more. I have to make that choice, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to be out here just hooping to hoop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to do something with it. Like, okay, if I can go get paid for it, cool. But if not, then what's next? Get into it. Let's get it, man. Welcome, everybody. If you're watching this, this is Bryson Gulley, stepping out of my comfort zone, doing something different. But, this is my life. So you about to see a lot of that. I am a proud owner, founder, developer, lead marketer. I wear all the hats in my web design development business. Just started it a couple months ago. But, we're going to take that to new heights in due time. Just trying to help business owners and individuals establish a web presence in this digital era. There's a lot of people out there overcharged and overpriced because of how long they've been doing such thing, and they know how valuable the skill is. But I try to bridge the gap, and I try to, make just make it happen for everybody to be happy. You know what I'm saying? So if you need a website, personal or individual business owner or whatever you want to classify yourself, you can talk to me. My early life, I, grew up 2-parent household, siblings. I'm the middle child. So I was born June 5th. You know what I'm saying? For all my gems out there, I rock with y'all. Yeah, man. I started playing sports, whatever my brother was doing, I was doing. That was just the kind of brother I was, the little brother I was. Anything he was doing, I wanted to do. So, early life was cool, man. We just had a lot going on. As kids living in Boston, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff going on out here, like streetwise being active and all that. Just wasn't, how we was raised. We was always doing something, extracurriculars, after school programs, like all of that. We just stayed busy. And if we didn't have to do something, we was going to support the other siblings. So it was like, it was never really, you know what I'm saying? Schedules was always busy. So I went to high school at 𝐸MK, Edward M. Kennedy Academy for the health careers. If you didn't know, Husky Nation, we here, class of 2017. Played basketball there, transferred there sophomore year. I just needed a change, but I also didn't want my parents paying for prep school. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't on any radar to get it, paid for me. I wanted it, but, it just wasn't in the cards. But I did work very, very hard at ball. Like, I was the type of hooper, like, if I was bored, I'm going to the gym. Like, you know what I'm saying? But also, when I was in high school, I didn't have that privilege, kind of. So it was kind of like I had to get it in where I fit in and still do a lot of stuff on my own. And then that leads me into freshman year of college. Went to Worcester State and, I said Worcester, Massachusetts. A year, probably like a month and a half into school, I get a phone call. Devin, my phone was blowing up coming out of practice. That first week was hell. Literally called Hell Week for a reason. We running. All of a sudden, I just get that. My phone was buzzing. Got the call, mother passed away from me. And yeah, it was just time to grow up. I was 18 years old, and it was time for me to, carry on a lot of responsibility that I wasn't used to. Like, yeah, each year our parents was giving us some greater responsibility, but it amplified, from that day forward. And I kind of knew that I had to step up in a major way. You know what I'm saying? Help my father, also be there for my siblings and, everybody else around me. And I ultimately was putting myself last. So as of recently, I've just been trying to, find out what I like to do, you know what I'm saying? And not ignoring that and really just, seeing what that path takes me, seeing what the journey takes me for real. So after freshman year, my college story is crazy. After freshman year, grades was bad. Didn't get no money to go back. Had to go to Benjamin Franklin Institute of Technology, majored in computer technology, got my associates, and also played ball there my second year. First year, I had to get my grades up, so it was kind of tough because that was my first real year, well, second year, other than my mother taking ball away from me, 8th grade for grades. That was my first year where I was like, yeah, I'm going to take this seat. I'm going to take this step back from ball, focus on school. And I learned a lot about myself. I had to find out, like, what I really like to do, started paying attention to the stuff I was getting taught because I'm like, damn, one day I'm not going to be hooping no more. I have to make that choice, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to be out here just hoping to hoop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to do something with it. Like, okay, if I can go get paid for it, cool. But if not, then what's next? So I started, paying attention in class. And I like to code, especially now. But before, I didn't think it was for me. So I took web design, 1, 2, website management, and I was just flying through the work. And, I wouldn't say that I love school, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of classes that I take that I feel like it's pointless, but I do it because I understand, the bigger picture is to get the degree. I'm not going to say I love school, definitely don't like it, for real. Mostly was making sure that my schoolwork was straight because I was playing ball in sports, so I never really had a true love for school or learning, but if it was something that I naturally gravitated towards, then I don't mind learning it. Like, I just got to put the work in. After that, got a scholarship to play at Union College in Kentucky during the COVID year. That was my first time moving away from home, being somewhere where I knew nobody, had no family, and I had to just figure it out. Like, talk to my teammates. It took me like a good month, almost 2, to open up to them for real, really tell them what's going on. We didn't have real conversations, you know what I'm saying? Like, really building team chemistry. And, it was a great time, I'm not going to lie, but it was also tough because, it was my first time getting COVID. There was a whole bunch of stuff I was dealing with, like family stuff, it's the same thing, universally, but it was just weird. Just being away, I started questioning, like, damn, like, is this for me? Just because, like, I wasn't used to, how basketball at that level was being played, dealing with a coach who was very smart, Kevin Burns, shout out to him. And my teammates was just killers, so it was kind of weird taking the back seat again. I'm like, damn, like, I want to hoop. That was what it was. Won the championship, conference, in like a bubble type of format. It was weird. And then I go transfer to Benedict College when they wanted me out of JUCO too. So those are only 2 schools because COVID had hit. So it was kind of weird trying to get your name out there, especially for me. And we was losing, so it's kind of tough. And then I would say I get there, mingling. I know how to like deal with a different environment now. So I'm like, all right, I'm comfortable. I could, you know what I'm saying? Still took me a little minute to open up to my teammates because that's just me. But, and once I did, we was talking, I asked them questions, and then boom, like it was time to get popping. Preseason, you know what I'm saying? And then the day before the season started, I found out that I couldn't play. And I'm like, for what? They like, oh, transfer rule, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, y'all had my transcript since May. What you mean transfer rule? But that was what it was. I missed like a couple games, kind of set me back. If you know how the college basketball system works, like you can't miss no days, no practices, nothing. You really got to be, especially if you're not on the coach's radar to play. You know what I'm saying? So kind of got to get creative with how you approach things. And like I said, I was always in the gym late nights. I'll go off campus to gyms, you know what I'm saying? Just because I'm like, bro, I'm bored. Like, this is something that I really want to do. So that was that. Long story short, I took some L's on the chin, had some suspensions, caught COVID again, and we went to the championship, then played, wound up not going back on the bus because I'm like, bro, I put in all this work to get here, to deal with this. Like, you kind of wasted my junior year, my time. 2 months later, find out that he don't want me back. So I'm like, oh, it's time to go home and reroute. So I'm like, damn. And that whole summer, like last summer, I had to figure out, like, what was I going to do? I'm like, I'm in the back of my head, in my heart, I want to hoop for UMass Boston, but I kind of knew that, like, it was low-key over with, if that makes sense. Like, I'm a realist at the end of the day. You feel me? So I had some things to figure out. Some blessings came my way in the beginning of the school year to where I was positioning myself to really take that leap in the tech industry, or at least get some experience in the corporate world. So I was like, okay, cool. But I also was studying on this app because I'm, in the process, I'm into building apps, just building things, you know what I'm saying? and I understand that I need a digital footprint to really impact, the world and whatever I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It may not be entertainment, it may not be in sports. I can impact people, but I can do it with something I create, something I build and put my time, energy, and effort into. So I was like, all right, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? My discovery in web design, that literally was me taking a class and just naturally gravitating towards it. And I'm like, what is it like? What is web design? So I really started doing a lot of research for like 2 years, researching YouTube junkie. So I look up anything and everything and try to make it make sense. And once I started my corporate job, I never knew which route I wanted to really take. And then web design and app development is just in my head. I had to stick through it. So I was like, you know what? Started diving more into the research. And once I really started, understanding what it is to be something out here, I was like, okay, this makes sense. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made me go and get my LLC for this business. That's what made me go understand paperwork. That's what made me understand, like, when the time comes, what does partnership look like in this industry and what I'm doing. So I'm like, okay, like, this is cool. Like, I could do something with this. So right now I'm just growing, learning, exploring, experimenting. Just really a lot of what I've been dealing with is a lot of trial and error. Like everything I just explained to you guys, like I learned that I won't know who I really am unless I'm going through trial and error. That's what relationships, friendships, like I'm learning and I'm growing through each stage. So like each school I transferred from, I had learned something. I had learned how to navigate through adversity and try to find, you know what I'm saying, why I'm there. Because I always used to question, like, why am I here? Like, why in my heart did I want to come here? So I had to really reevaluate a lot of things. I would say my resilience is really what I would wear on my sleeve, because I know, like, the past 5-6 years, if you personally know me, you know what I've been through, you know what I'm saying? And I really don't like to talk about it, public people. Like, this is my first time, like, really, like, diving into it a little bit, but at the end of the day, it kind of makes me who I am. Like, I never knew, you know what I'm saying, at 16 years old, I can't tell myself at 23 going on 24 that, like, bro, like, you about to go through this, you about to experience a whole, you know what I'm saying, whole nother realm of life that you ain't never really experienced before, because you have the protection of your parents. Like, okay, you want a dream, go chase it. So it's kind of that. I'm kind of like doing that still, but also understanding that, life be lifing. Life really be lifing. So I'm like, man, this is tough. So time management is important. And I really like, you always hear it in school, time management, like you won't really run into time management unless you once you get to that next stage of your life after high school, and it's like, okay, you try to figure things out, but you also got responsibilities you got to take care of. And since mine amplified, like went to the rocket, I'm like, okay, like my 24 hours has to be very efficient. I can't waste no time. And even if I do go here, then everywhere, I'm coming back and I'm making no excuses. I'm working. Like, I got people still telling me to this day, like, what you about to do, bro? It's the weekend. I'm working. Like, I'm researching. I'm writing things down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm constantly going. And, that's just how I was raised, man. You just got to keep going, and all the things that I've learned, from my father and from my mother. We had our one-on-one talks when she was here. God rest her soul, but it was like, man, like, that's just what life is. Like, my mother was working full time. She made sure that we was straight, getting to and from, schedules was down packed. And then just like making sure she comes to as much sporting events as she can. Probably only missed like 2 or 3 that I could think of because of schedule conflict with other siblings. But at the end of the day, like, if she was doing that, making it happen, it also had like some problems, personally. So I was like, bro, if she's doing that, like, there's no excuse for me, like, to get out here and really make something of myself. So the purpose of this YouTube channel is really to show you guys, like, the life I live, the lifestyle, maybe, inspire some to stay locked in. I do, dibble and dabble and go out, be it also a 20-year-old, but I also understand the importance of building a strong foundation that, like, my family could eventually eat off of. Because that's what really I'm doing all this for, because I understand, like, the industry I'm in and understand what this could turn into. So my goals for the rest of the year, right now I got 3 certifications. I want to get 2 more. I'm going to get 2 more web development certifications. Just build up my clientele as far as, like, people who want to partner with me to, help build their websites and their presence. showcase, you guys, what I've been, invited to, and the people that I've been around and the people I know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be in some nice rooms. It's a blessing for real. And then just, show you guys my journey, honestly, because I'm not going to stop creating. I don't care if it's 5 people watching, 10 people watching, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. Like, the views don't matter. I'm just leaving my digital footprint out here. Y'all don't know my name, but y'all will know my name. So I encourage y'all, adversity is my middle name. Adversity is really my middle name. Like, I done faced adversity through the craziest times. I'm always rerouting. If you guys have any stories, inspiring stories that you want to share that I hopefully can learn something from, because I find inspiration in anything. Everybody got their own situations. I want y'all to comment below. You can follow me on all social media platforms. It will be in the description below. Let's take this ride together, man. I'll also be providing you guys with web design tips, tutorial, ways you can make it a side hustle for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to really dive into it like I am, because this is my passion. It may not be yours. You may just need some extra money on the side. I'll help you. I know how to, I will put something together for you guys, videos, in the near future to where you can do that. And yeah, man, I want you guys to like, subscribe, turn on your notifications for the channel, because it's going to be some funny videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm calm and collected now. I'm a Gemini, so I got 2 sides. I'm calm and collected now, man. But when I'm outside around good people, man, you see a different me in a good way. So I want y'all to be a part of that, man, And just, thank you guys for watching. If you watched this far, you a real one. If you didn't, then it's cool. You're going to be seeing me later. I ain't going nowhere.